Hi everyone. Um, I just wanted to come on here and just say number one, hello. Don't mind me. Literally, I'm a no makeup girl these days. Just get up and go. When I have appointments, I still wear makeup, but just not all the time. So I am literally. I've just come out of an appointment from the hospital. So for those of you who don't know, I had major surgery back in March, the end of March. And as I was coming out of my appointment just now, I just felt inspired to just come and sit here. And I tell you why. It was no, it was just under a year ago. Um, I had an appointment at the hospital, the same place, and the meeting, the diagnosis wasn't great. The conversation that I had with the consultant, it wasn't great. You can see my eyes watering because it's just the memory of the moment. It's still so raw in my mind. And where I'm seated now doing this video is exactly just under a year ago after receiving um, that news as I was having the appointment, and just the intensity of what they found and what they were going to do. It became so much that I came to this very spot and I just broke. I broke down in tears. I was by myself and I was just like, God, how? Like, how? How did we get here? Because I'm someone who is big on health and, exercise. Like, I'm just big on, relaxation, just trying to prevent certain health issues. So I just started to really work on my health from a very young age, from in my 20s. So I came to this very spot a year ago and I was crying and I was just like, God, how? But as I broke down in tears and I had my moment, I remembered who my God was. And why I'm saying this, why I'm sharing this with you, is because I want to encourage someone's faith in this moment, that your faith in God does not stop you from going through. Please don't mind my grey hair. I'm not going to say I'm getting old because I don't feel old. I still feel young. But yeah, I'm going grey. So then I'm going to turn my face that way. Your faith in God does not stop. It doesn't stop you from going through life's circumstances. But it's your faith in God that helps you to go through. I can tell you that His grace was sufficient for me. When I think back on what God has done for me in the last year, it's like it's humbling. I promise I'm not gonna cry. So I'm back in the same spot that I was at a year ago. And the appointment that I had, the consultant, he was so excited, he was so happy. He was like, the surgery was a success. And some of the things he was talking to me about, what was amazing. Now, I don't know if he's a man of faith, I don't know. But it's interesting to me that a week before my surgery, I literally had a conversation. I had to go for my final treatment before the surgery. And the nurse, I believe she was a Christian because of the way she was talking, but her advice was somewhat strange. And she was just basically telling me, you know what they always tell women, I'm in my 30s. And she was just like, with all this that's happening with you, you just need to go and have a child. And it doesn't matter who it's with, you just need to just do it. Like, I know men are a bit weird these days, but you just need to find someone and have a child with them. But then going into this appointment today, this man, he said to me, he says, look, number one, I'm happy with the results of your surgery. Everything is safe, you're fine. And then he just started talking about the future. And he was just like, one of the things he said to me, and I just smiled in my heart, because I don't know if he was saved. I don't know if he knows God. The appointment was just 5 minutes. But he just said to me, he says, with all of what I'm telling you, do not rush. It's important that you wait for the right person so that you can, plan well for what is to come. That's what I'm going to say, because I'm not going to go into my business here. But I just smile because what I heard a year ago comparing to what I'm hearing now, it is completely different. And I want to encourage someone on here. My eyes are getting teary because I'm just like, I'm still processing just how good God has been to me. And I want to encourage someone on here that if you are dealing with any sort of diagnosis, sorry, this is my vulnerability, I suppose. If you're dealing with any sort of diagnosis, I want to encourage you that God is able to heal you. One of the things that God encouraged me throughout my process was that, Dahna-Esther, there are different ways of healing. Some people get an immediate healing, and there are others that get gradual healing, and then there's some people, they have to go through treatment. Sorry, I'm just wiping my eyes. They have to go through treatment. They need the doctor's hand. So I need a doctor's hand in order to administer healing. And so I remember going back and forth with the consultant, bless him. I took so long to decide to do this procedure. And he was just like, you really need to do this. And I had various concerns and, decisions that I made for myself years prior. And I was like, God, but I used all these years, I honored you with my body. And there's things that I decided that I wasn't going to do until marriage. And that was also going to be affected if I did this procedure. And I remember the Lord just saying, Dana, this is the path that I have ordained for you. And so I just want to encourage, if you are out there and you're dealing with any ill health and you're like, no, I'm waiting for God to heal me, and you're being encouraged to go down the path or the route for the doctors to treat you, I want to encourage you to do it, because God can heal you through that. And that's exactly what I have experienced. I have literally experienced God's healing through the doctor's hand. He healed me by me going through the treatment, and I can tell you that my life is definitely better. My quality of life is definitely better. There are things that I went through. I mean, a lot of people look at me, they look at my face when I'm made up, beautiful lady. I love me. I am beautiful. And people see the way I carry myself, the way I speak, the way how hard I go for the things of God. But guys, there are many things you didn't know. I was really suffering health-wise. And I chose to keep that to myself because I knew it was going to be a testimony one day. And I knew that my process and who I am and how I'm viewed, it is a, I can't get the word. I can't. My mind is just all over the place right now. I'm just so excited because of the appointment I just had. But it is an indicator of just the grace of God that's on my life, the grace that's on me. The hand of God is so much on me that there were things that I've been able to do physically where people are like, how have you been able to walk the way you have walked? How have you been able to do the things you have done, dealing with what you have dealt with health-wise? I'll just say this to you, that early 2020, before the pandemic, I remembered I'm just trying to think. Yeah, the doctors called me while I was at work and they were like, you need to get here now. Whatever you're doing, drop what you're doing. I'd done some blood tests, I think a week or two before. No, it was a week before. And the doctor says, I don't care what you're doing, drop it, get here now, it's an emergency. When I got there, she looked at me and she said, she was just looking me up and down. She's like, tell me something. Have you ever had a blood transfusion? And I was like, no. She's like, do you know what the normal blood count of a woman is? I was like, no. She says, well, the normal blood count, your body, actually, I can't remember exactly the terminology she used, but I remember her saying something like 11 something. Don't know if it's milligrams or whatever. She was like, it's 11, but you are 6. She said, there's no way you should be standing in front of me like that right now. There's no way you should be doing what you're doing with that level of blood in your body. She just looked at me. She was like, get to the pharmacy, get this, the medication I've prescribed, and I want you to take it. And don't stop taking it until it's finished, because I need your blood levels to come back to normal. But do you not know that at, the church I used to go to, one of the elders, God bless her, every time she would pray for me, she'd always say, I command a blood transfusion, not knowing what was happening in my body. I'm not going to make this long because I know you guys have seen me cry, but I promise I'm okay. I'm okay. I just want to encourage someone's faith out there, because I know everything I go through is for a purpose, and everything I go through is just so that I can encourage someone who's going through. So I want you to, if you are going through any sort of health challenge, I want you to be encouraged that God is with you. God is with you and he's holding your hand. There's a song that he gave me back in December. I can't even walk without you holding my hand. And that song is what has carried me through till now. Even when I was going in the surgery, 6.5 hours my surgery lasted for. But I can testify that through it all, he held my hand. He held my hand when I received the diagnosis last year. He held my hand when the gynecologist, the consultant, he kept saying, look, this is what we're going to need to do. When he was trying to convince me. I don't think he was trying to put fear in me, but he literally was like, he's like, come here, because you ain't understanding how serious this matter is. He showed me the MRI scan. He showed me just how out of sync my entire organs were. And he was just like, you need surgery. And it was so intense that the minute I signed the documents, they put me right to the top of the list. That's how urgent my case was. And I'm just sitting here, the same spot that I ran to and cried my eyes out after last year. I'm back here with a different report. So I just want to encourage someone that, listen, what you're going through now, a lot can happen and a lot can change in 1 year. So God bless you, and I pray you're encouraged by this testimony. I know it's 11 minutes long, but yeah, be encouraged. God's got you. Take care.